Good afternoon, audience, and welcome to the show. We have an awesome guest today, Mr. Tyrone Andrews. Mr. Andrews, can you tell us what type of agent you are?
Yes, I'm a broker life agent.
Okay. And people, life insurance is very, very, very important. And I know a lot of us have it through our employers. If you work for someone, or even if you're self-employed, you may have a policy, but there's several types of policies stemming from a young family, middle age, or older. So just depending on your needs and the needs of your loved ones, there's a variety of things choices that you can consider. During these times of shootings and just accidents and all of these things, when you step outside your home, the last thing I'm just going to speak for myself, is when something happens, people are in shock and they're mourning their loved ones. And the last thing I would want is to burden them with those arrangements. So, Mr.
I agree.
Can you tell us about some types of policies, just to give the audience some ideas of what they may consider, and even look at your existing policy and say, you know what, I might want to add something, or I don't need this, or switch some things around?
That is a perfect idea, because a lot of times I'll hear someone say, well, I'm all set. And that sounds good. Actually, I would be surprised if they didn't have some type of coverage. But what I found is that a lot of times, unfortunately, if we have done our application by ourselves, which I, really saw someone that even does that, but there's a lot of fine print to policies and mail order policies, etc. And sometimes if we haven't read all the fine print, we may miss some of the characteristics of how the policy works. And then, like you mentioned too, Jazz, is that getting a review is always good. Every 2 to 3 years, we should do that, because things sometimes change. Maybe we've had a newborn, we forgot to add our newborn into our policy. Maybe we recently got married and now we want to maybe change our beneficiary. There's riders sometimes that's on policies that's been in place for a long period of time that may no longer be applicable, that we can take off to save the policyholder some money, right? And so this is just a variety of situations. And a lot of times I've actually found insurance that someone didn't know that they had, because maybe they had stopped making some payments, but they've had it for, quite a few years, and there was some cash value still in the policy, and they didn't know that, and they had a paid up amount of insurance for a certain amount of money. And so now bringing that to their attention, they was just like, wow, thank you. I would have never, realized that. I thought it was just dormant, right? And then there's actually certain policies too, like whole life, that once we've had it for a while, if we run into a financial situation, we can utilize some features of the policy to still keep some insurance in force. So there's just a multitude of things that we can look at.
That's good to know. And that's why it's great to talk to an insurance professional such as yourself. Where are you located, Mr. Andrews?
Yes, my primary office is in Troy, Michigan. I represent Transamerica, and we've been in business over 100 years. We actually started off in the financial industry. Yeah, a long time, right? Back in the horse and buggy days. Right? So that's pretty, a long time. And most people like a company that's been around for quite a while, that's, that shows some result in the industry. And so, I have an office on 101 Big Beaver Road, West Beaver Road in Troy, Michigan.
Okay, that's a nice road. I like Troy.
Yes.
You get some damage and some shopping in Troy, but so that's good to know. So you are you a Michigander? Are you born and raised in Michigan, or did you come from somewhere else?
Yes. No, I'm definitely a Michigander. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, and
Hey,
now I reside in Clarkston, Michigan. Yeah, I was getting so many clients like in the Pontiac area and just the outskirts and so forth. So I said, well, maybe I'd better move a little closer to Pontiac. And so that's where I'm at. And but I still take care of the community. I go wherever a need arises. And that's how I've always been.
oh, all right. So you deal with whole life term, and you mentioned you deal with health. Can you tell us about that as well? Your license?
Yes, I'm actually a broker agent in the health industry. Also, back in 2015, I was in healthcare already, offering Medicare supplements through a company that I was with, Bankers Life and Casualty at the time. And then I started to age myself, and I'm thinking, well, I need to know more about healthcare. So when the Affordable Care Act was implemented back in 2015, I transferred from Bankers and went to Blue Cross and Blue Shield and became a health plan advisor. And I did that for about 3 years. And I also worked in the Medicare division, which at the time we ended up getting the 5-star rating, with the team that I was with. So that was pretty phenomenal. And so, yes, I'm in healthcare as well. And then a lot of companies, since I'm a broker, I have other access to other carriers. So we have hospital indemnity plans, we have cancer plans, we have accidental plans, we have pretty much the whole array as it deals with health and life.
Yeah, that hospital indemnity was important to me. When I was younger, it wasn't, because no one thinks, or have to have a surgery or anything like that. But it's good to know the options on that, like whether you choose to have the option that they pay for a certain amount
Yes,
and you have a smaller amount deductible, or they pay the whole
yes,
amount and they take a little bit more. So these are things, people, we need to check it out. If you have an existing policy, look at your life insurance policy, look at your health insurance policy,
yes,
and talk to a specialized agent who can help you assess what you don't need. You
yes,
mentioned there were some things in your policy that may not be relevant to how you're living now.
yes. That's right. Yes. And so like you said, it's really a good option to look into. And then you've had the experience of utilizing the hospital indemnity where it pays a cash benefit. And we've heard of, like, Aflac, actually, which I represent them too, that offers policies that pays the cash benefit directly to the policyholder. And so what's really unique is that if we have younger children, because children sometimes are a little bit more prone to have accidents, right? And then mom or dad sometimes have to take off work, and we got to take the child to, see about their care. And so those type of policies can help reimburse us, for the loss of income that we're facing during those unfortunate situations.
Oh, that's good to know. That would be very important to the families that have children.
Yes,
That's,
yes.
and there was also an insurance I heard about that mentioned benefits while you're living.
Yes,
Tell the audience
yes.
about that. That's always good
Oh
to know.
yeah, that is so true. I mean, it puts a smile on my face and usually others, because if we can utilize our policies while we're living, and it can pay us again cash for going through different situations, like an unfortunate diagnosis with cancer, or having a critical illness, and or just having two functional limitations where we can qualify and get income out of our policies. So at Transamerica, we also have term policies that we can put that type of rider in there. We can get a critical illness rider where it can actually supplement our income if we have an unfortunate health situation that's not life threatening, but just that we have to take off time from work and go through our recovery stage, and hopefully we recoup, but then we can get money paid to us as well. And
Oh,
there's even cancer policies too that unfortunately, if we, if we continue to live a long life, usually there's some type of incident that may occur health-wise, and unfortunately, cancer is on the rise. I have loved ones that's been diagnosed with cancer. My mom ended up having lung cancer. So we have policies now that can pay us a lump sum amount of money just for being diagnosed, and it does not have to be terminal, right? And hopefully, we hope it's not. But the cost that we have to face sometime is very, very large. I know a friend of mine that we went to school together, and she's unfortunately, has been diagnosed with cancer, and they did a GoFundMe because the cost of medications were, beyond the healthcare, that the healthcare expenses that we're being reimbursed for healthcare, and so. If we have a policy like that, it pays for a lot of different services and costs that's not included in our major medical.
that is awesome to know, especially for families that do have cancer patients and people that have that disease. And so people, pull out your policies. If you don't have one, get one. Talk to a professional. Mr. Andrews is in the Michigan area, and we're going to have all his contact information after the show. Give him a call and see what you have going on, because sometimes you're paying for something that you don't even need anymore. Or maybe you said something earlier about underwriting. It's not relevant to your situation now. Maybe 20 years ago it was, but now it's just a waste of money. You're paying for something that's not going to do anything good for you. So.
That's true. And I like to think of it as sometimes we may want more than what we need, and sometimes we may need more than what we want. So by doing a needs assessment, first of all, a lot of times we can figure out that maybe we don't need as much coverage as we kind of imagine, or we can help keep the cost down, because if we take care of the needs, then the wants is a really good thing, but at least we have what we need. So if we at least have what we need, we have a good plan that would be suitable for us.
Yes, indeed. Have the adequate coverage.
Adequate coverage,
because
yes.
As you progress in life, things change.
That's true.
And,
yes.
And it can be affordable. People, you're going to go shopping for the holidays. If you do not have life insurance, please get some. It's that time to have it. Give your family that sense of security, and for yourself. And sometimes you may have to give up a burger or two, or a cocktail or two. It only goes once a month. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100,
That's right.
Sometimes in life, you have to give up something for the betterment of your future.
That's true.
And then you have that ease, and you're taken care of, you're doing, and it's easy. You get it taken out of your account every month, boom, it's gone.
That's true. That's true, Jazz. Like you said, for the betterment of your future. And, we see ads a lot on TV, and it's really true that we can get some insurance for, let's say, a dollar a day, right? And just that modest. And when we think about it, when we look at other payments and other bills that we have, generally is not in that $30 or $40 range, right? It's usually more than that. And so with life insurance and other plans can really help us financially for the most minimum cost, I think, that we can spend. And I always tell my clients and people that I serve, you would never pay more than a penny more than what you are willing to pay for. So I don't recommend how much you need to pay, right? We just want to see if we can find a solution that's going to take care of your needs. And then if it really makes sense to you, and we show you all the different aspects of it, where it can be, like you said, living benefits, and then it can benefit us from now and later, all the way through our life, then, hopefully it'll be more interesting.
Great. Well, thank you, Mr. Andrews, for coming on the show and sharing that vital information with us. Mr. Andrews' information will be posted at the end of the show. So give him a call and assess what you have. And like I said, if you don't have it, get it. All right. Thank you so much. And
thank you,
look forward to talking to you soon.
You. Yes,
okay, you take care. Have a good
Thank you.
evening.
Likewise. Okay.
Bye-bye.